Right. Good day, everybody. Thank you for joining us on yet another episode of the podcast. On today's episode, I have a phenomenal guest with me in the studio, and his name is Mr. Onyebuchi Emodi, and he is an environmental bioengineer. And so we're going to be having the conversation around waste to wealth in agriculture, turning organic waste to energy and profit. So I'll start out with just helping you guys know who he is by reading out his bio. Then we'll start out the conversation. Mr. Onyebuchi Emodi is an environmental bioengineer and the founder of MB360 Circles. He helps farmers, agribusiness, and institutions to manure, uh, turn organic waste, manure, food waste, and sewage into biogas, energy, and organic fertilizer through on-site biodigester systems. His work builds localized circular economies designs for Nigerian reality with proven results. With proven results. And Oyebuchi approached this as practical and system first, which is grounded in measurable return on investment and long-term sustainability. Mr. Oyebuchi, thank you so much for joining us today. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing good, Mr. Ogo. I'm doing good. I'm doing
Fantastic, fantastic. So we're just going to fantastic. So we're just going to delve into the conversation today, and my very first question to you at this time is: most people see waste as something to get rid of, but from your experience, what are some of the fundamental misunderstanding about waste, and what does this actually represent in a well-designed systems?
now. When you say in a well-designed system, first of all, we should look to very well that in a well-designed system, it's what everything made that another benefit to another product, so that it becomes a
Mm-hmm.
circular system. Because in well-designed system, we are talking circular system where everything is utilized. Only thing we have is few uh, waste loss, not compare what we use in a traditional world waste to never exist. If like chicken, poultry waste, it's already a byproduct already for something else. If we are looking at fish or there are feces that has been stored, you know what else is a byproduct. So everything becomes a byproduct. Minimum losses. So waste do not exist in the world. Well designed system. We don't have waste exist. We have to that we have to keep lighting people whereby in our village, so things were going properly well. So I think thank
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing that insight. And so, another question I would ask you is: I know that you're an environmental engineer, right? There could have been other forms of ways to um, leverage on your expertise to create solutions for people. So, tell me a bit more as to why you chose to sort of focus on like renewable energy and circular economy. Why exactly did you choose, that form of expression for your work?
you. Okay, from the way I decided to choice on the career path on renewable and circular economy because as we stand on right now, Nigeria is having a huge energy crisis. Especially on the fact that we're having a huge energy crisis. Even Dagote has some refer to of come to invest in this system of coming by to become a big sector of company to form to give us energy. But I now look at it as my own part is energy already. We've already produced that it cannot be used again. It's a waste. There are people who convert plastics into crude oil. Playing right now in Nigeria provide doing that, but it cannot come out largely and process. The first to come will have issue that which energy sovereignty will they have to produce, and if happen to it properly, even good technical know-how, will have engines or issues. But now you will try to look for energy that is much more, quite more expensive because from your home and it actually resolve the energy to keep on far that I stay on my father that okay, energy. What are the issues people see that they make mistakes that they don't know where their energy is? Many people just see only man and your energy available. They mean that just for plant. But do you know that with you could fish blacks would fly and it will give energy back to them, whereby it is already for the chickens, for poultry, for pigs and the rest.
Wow.
Wow.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
All right. So my next question to you is more experiential based,
All right.
and this will,
Question you is experiential based and
so when you walk into a farm or a facility for the first time,
you went to a farm after the first time.
what are the biggest invisible losses you typically identify that the owner is not
What
even
are the
aware of?
biggest invisible losses you typically identify not even aware of? Okay. First of all, what I first identify is it's poultry. If it's cow, you say pies. Or you if it's cold or you pass through the gutter. So they wait like this way instead of discarding it. So let it pass through the ground then they do it back to her. Then and and the rest. They try to just and just when it comes to my because you cannot put it there. You can't feed directly animal waste directly to plants. So you have to do compost. So they feel to just pile up, find a hole and some who are not doing that.
Hmm. Okay, Mr. Nyebuchi, I'm not sure if you can hear me because I can't hear you though. Can you hear me?
Okay, hear me. question. Yeah, that gave me what are the things I see first in market. I first talked about what when you on underground, maybe on the one way, those are the first things to receive. Possibly how they felt that I had to see them with so for them to actually usually they sell it for the price sell it they prefer to waste it. So like okay who will for more for their own mindset about what and the is things that are not see they are not filled with cons they throw it through the drainage gutter because that drainage gutter is literally bigger a lot to pass through. It talks in the long run as we go. Then for farms, you see a huge pile of waste to become a compost. They want to do composting, this and this, but they don't see it as a way that okay, this waste can actually become food, which used to feed the lava fly and all those things. Therefore, you see pile very huge. When I went to their state, I saw a very huge pile which they say they're not going to use. Well, some point and every other product, but they, they say that no, just do it. They pick some and to plant again to make soil and they waste it and put the soil back. So they wait have to go and buy fertilizer. Those are the things I see.
Wow, that's quite impressive to just hear that coming from you. So my very next question.
Yeah, that question.
Circular economy sounds good in theory, but many operators see it as abstract.
Circular
How do you
economy sounds great, but not just see it abstract. Well, for that, circular economy to me, I'll see it as the range of more people coming out to tell us what our great grandfathers were doing. Recently, I met my wish that should him, but he told me to understand for my own furniture. He told me to understand things that was being done time ago that we just do not understand till now. First of all, we think that it's very it's not to really understand fully. But that's what our fathers has been doing. We don't have anything known as waste. There, there was nothing like plants and they were so but and he knows on everyone that we have things and being my class where exactly our grandfather style or let's just say so like is just we can modernize our whole system yes as we reach agriculture it has properly but we don't know we just put that linear and which first of all it has affected the state of Nigeria, especially production when linear know what to do so like when we come out and say okay the your ancestors were living when they did not have any tiny waste in any form of yeah, before we don't have any disease. This that it to Christian so it benefit. see anyone to be like, this is a waste now. Inorganic fertilizer to change what we need to do. We know that we're using it before. And we change it to okay, you have to buy this fertilizer. And everybody now when agricultural students, most of them focus on like that's the only fertilizer they want. But fertilizer of microorganisms and kinds, even me self do not know to the just like me exist. It just it to the proper way. We just see that people that knows how to do it. We will follow this way, and this way we know part.
Wow, interesting. So at some point, in most cases,
Wow,
your
interesting.
audio
So at
plays
some
in
point, in most cases, your audio. Sorry, I
all
didn't
right. Okay. Can you hear me now?
All right. Okay. Can you hear me now? Yes, I can hear you clear.
Okay, fantastic. So without getting too technical, I would like you to
Okay, fantastic. So without I would like you to
sort of walk us through how a biodigester converts waste
sort
into
of walk
usable
us through
energy
how a biodigester usable
or fertilizer, and what makes
how
it reliable for
digester
local context.
or fertilizer, and what makes it for local content. Biodigester is stomach with parts. Let one inlet part and have two outlet parts. One outlet is for liquid fertilizer. The other outlet is for the gas and one for the feeding. So there's oxygen present inside. As oxygen is not present, the way the organism or the bacteria, the mitogens works inside. Even we don't want to use the big name, but the bacteria that actually build their work like that is there and it works inside properly in such a way that it produces gas. Now, during that gas, there's a way of that gas must go through each other. We call filtration in such a way like you want to do something clean as you always do. You want clean water. There's a way you must put things to set for water to become more clean. That's it is not technical as people see it to be. It's less technical because this gas, as before the to produce it, it has no issue in cause because if it is not in terms of it will go off. As in the production of it, oxygen comes in, the gas will produce. If oxygen comes in during the it goes off, it will not lead to combustion. Oxygen has to not be present, and when it comes as a flame that you light up, like that is gas, which is first level of organic comes out to the higher levels. So those are not LP is again the best gas to use for cooking. So that's what the hard gas is being produced. Now in the level of the local content, now in terms of the local content, now very helpful because our core welder is very warm. We have a welder that is very warm by such a way that biogas has to work properly well. It works properly well in our welder. And again, what you need to do is to put this properly checked well, not to let garbage abandon it for years. First you can work for it for come back. But if you come back, it will still work back. And it doesn't require any technology and anything. It doesn't require you to let's go to example. a high industrial that you want to do, use motor to keep rotating the waste down. So emphasize in small small system. There is no need like for 30 or 30 millimeter. Sorry.
So, can you hear me? Yeah, Mr. Ndebisi, are you there?
I can hear you now.
All right. So, how do you deal with
Okay.
like
Yeah, Mr.
misconception?
Yes, I can.
Because people would say, "Ha, how will I use the sewage? Like, how will I use the poo poo from my soccer away? To turn to gas that I'm going to cook with? I can't do that. It's hazardous. It's not wholesome. So, how do you deal with those misconceptions when you interact with people about, oh, you could
How
use your
do I deal
sewage
with
to
me?
produce gas and things?
Gas and things. First of all, I say for sewage, waste works well, but you need to put it animal waste or waste that go to you. One so okay, I think I'm the one live right here. So let's go to the part of sewage. People think it's possible, but it's a challenge because in the system you have to set it on affect the sewage system, protect the inject disease, uh, uh, agent, and actually will kill the insects. So I do not advise. Say where you create it, you actually create. Um, I don't understand. The network is it cracking also because I know that you call and call back, but I just
Yeah, at some point, sometimes I don't hear you well, but sometimes I hear you, so it goes in and out.
sometimes I don't hear you well, but sometimes I hear you, so it goes and okay. What I'll say about the say you posing gas your sewage is gas. First, it's not a dirty gas. It's of how animals that an animal that died for a long time or they stayed on the ground called. Do you think that crude oil will just exist from nothing? It nature to create waste. Nature must come so not create waste. So there must be a product. Just like in creating a and play ozone. It's not has nothing to do with it. Yes, people don't understand that part. But it's just a simple fact that if some use it, he sees it properly well, see that okay, this gas that's why the only issue that they have is when properly well, whereby you get your organic waste, you do not cover it properly or you leave it and you open it and start down of issues. It uses when it enters and stays inside to come out as gas, using gas and smell. The only one our gas has a smell, small smell to detect that actually there is gas. That's what the biogas also tiny here for you, but in the proper use it key is the cheap path is for them to take the organic waste that is smelling to pour it into. But recently we want to create Nigeria better plan where so in every country building to that system. Let it understand industrial level biogas has effect prices. So biogas has no so those means that people don't know how to manage converting it from that form. And most people say, okay, this video will feel so again, how other ones look at that only farm people see it's only maybe biogas that will come out and it will stop working certain period of time. Biogas will work as long as people fit proper setting which are going to be if working. And anything makes biogas stop working if it clogs and in its pipe, not this and you couldn't able to adjust it properly every time. Open it to let it open because it must clog because the waste you are feeding is more of a meshy and it's slow stocky, so it stuck on that part. But when it comes to liquid form, it's not that properly in form of water, so there's no stock in those areas side, and the gas comes out properly when you overfeed it, and you have to know how to use poultry waste to produce gas because poultry waste is more of technical because it produces a lot of those misconceptions of people who are doing enter into and do it properly well. And instead of them to first do black soldier lava fly and the larvae, they remove their mind from those and focus on the gas without creating a feed for their own chicken, maybe the broilers, and seeing how to turn poultry uh, to chicken protein. That's the protein, whereby you grind it, you try and grind and become a food meal mixed with corn, everything to form a chicken feed and the rest, which is the good benefit. But they ignore that part and focus on okay, let's produce gas, let it just work. Those are that misconception because it must actually have a breakdown because properly well. Those are issues because you need to find what is the second benefit to actually start benefit. If I take this or if I take animal form fertilizer, those are essentially adding like it's affecting the fact that you're explaining by the term of what the old system does that as the new what really bad.
Wow. Okay. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Thank you so much
So now,
for sharing that with us.
so now I'm going to ask questions from a business standpoint.
So let me ask question from a business standpoint.
So what does the return on investment realistically look like
So
from
what the return on
installation to work?
look at cat look at a cattle and we look at poultry. Maybe farmer who has it does for every year 5 batches, how much he made to, so that they buy gas only before we want gas. One will say he wants only black soldier life. The one will now say he wants the two to put properly well. Someone wants biogas one day should be very to how to deal with the ammonia. And when it comes to pricing, you have to look at okay, how much is it going to set? If he wants to go for his power system, he will have to go for a 1,000 night with the candle. Coming back to go again to be doing the chicken zone chicken. He doesn't want to touch the 1 year old chicken with charcoal, lighting up with things so that it will make the big place heated up. He will use the biogas lamp. So he has had to purchase of that one to the chicken and the rest. And if biogas 10,000 liter, which is a 10 cubic meter, around prices of say that will give him an issue of work properly well. But the challenge is that it will not work in the long run because biogas will last for what is if you are using normal plastic 5 to 7 years. You won't be sure because it's plastic you are using polythene plastic tank. And those polythene plastic tank, because you are buried it under the ground, there is only expanses and it contracts. Those plastic will have issues, the water and everything. There's the way it must plastic will always lose its strength. And so if you want to do fixed home, those are the common ones we do. That one lasts for 20 years. It works properly well. It goes well for 20 years. But the issue is if you don't know how to maintain the business or your poultry and everything, you let it be. No one takes on it, no one's it again. So it ends up that way. So that. So the best one is to draw the black soldier file and the biogas. If you find that you know that you are having a feed, understand here what is the amount of um, feed you're going to give for your chickens or your chickens. It's not for pigs. You know that okay, yes, you're having your manually going to convert to fertilizer through the biogas, and you still have to do the black soldier larva fly, black soldier fly larva, which helps in giving the feed to the is a protein, is like a protein. I don't know more for that part. So yes, it is going to help very well. Now in the issue where we have is that if someone do not properly put certain things on check well, in the first step there was no proper of what he has done, then he will have challenges in the previous years because if waste they are going to put in, maybe check it if it is 10,000, 10K, he has to, okay, how many of gas is it coming out? Going to so he has to check every property where so that he knows that okay, these are the statistics of what comes in the first year in terms of numbers and prices because I cannot giving out full numbers because sometimes the changes. You give a number right now, say you do the digester for this amount and do this. The system that we're having right now is so that the system has said the system in the construction structure materials we need that locally made here. Because if you say we want to go for foreign materials that will actually put it in spent, no, we locally made materials. So prices cannot be given properly. But what I know is that the proper biogas beyond we see LPG gas import in a farm. And for a home, it will say 7% of LPG gas being used at a home. For a farm to save 80 because in a farm, a larger ton. For a home, they do not to cover. So the home to look for other ways for food are certain to come to adjust to their biogas at home more properly well. If it's a 1,000 liter, they cannot produce about in a day. They will say they want to produce about 1,000, sorry, 100 liter of feed. Home cannot produce that. So you have to source in those whose fruits who have a lot of waste. They have to source it out to adjust. What I that is well, it saves you it's an LPG gas. But in a year, what you just buy at a gas of 100.
Okay. Can you hear me? Miss Hannibal, are you there? So, guys, I'm not certain if you can hear me or if you're still on the call. Thank you so much for your patience. We've had a bit of network glitches today into this session, but so far the conversation has been really interesting because, why we're having this conversation today is because energy is one of the prominent challenges that we have as a people collectively in the nation. And seeing that there's an alternative that could possibly you know, help us achieve that. Hence the reason for this, interaction today.
Okay, can you
Fantastic.
hear me back now?
Yes, I can hear you loud
Okay.
and clear. Way
So,
better.
okay, now, okay, what I was talking about was that I can't just give prices because this system has to do with construction in terms of
Yeah.
biogas and in terms of jar fly larvae. It's the black soldier
Mm,
fly system. I always call it, or the larvae is where the feed, the energy is inside. The energy is where the energy is found in the larva, sorry. So if someone wants to create, I can't give a certain price on it because if you
yeah.
start saying this amount of this we do, this amount we do, this amount we do, when you don't go
Yeah.
a site, a farm, and you go for site survey and you don't go for facility studies, you are going to get issues in terms of the prices, in terms of business right
True.
now.
True.
So, but what
Because
I can
prices.
do is give is that I give a certain assurance or if you do it properly well for a farm, your biogas and your black soldier, um, black soldier fly system, you're going to have such a way that you will save like 80% of your fertilizer that you used to buy for your inorganic fertilizer. You will save 80%, highly even 100%. You might not even buy the organic self, the inorganic fertilizer. You will save almost about let's say 80. So I want to say 100, but why I will say 100 is sometimes technical fault. Even when we use certities, a certain moment whereby maybe small burst were lead to gas might not produce that day. So you have to work on it too. So that's why I give 80% in a year. So you're going to save what you spend in a year in terms of maybe you want to buy for fuel, your generator, your LPG, everything. What you're going to buy together because you're going to that
So, guys, from this conversation, we're learning that it is effective and efficient in terms of saving you money and saving you energy as well. So, guys, thank you for your patience. Today's stream has been interesting due to the network glitches, but I'm pretty sure that every single one on the call is getting a lot of value and understanding and insight from this interaction. Interestingly, turning waste into energy, whether it's like the biofertilizer he has been talking about, or even gas in terms of like your cooking gas. This has been things that has been on ground for a long time, even within the country, Nigeria. It's been going on. Most people are not aware about it, and that's why we had brought in Mr. Onyebuchi to come enlighten us more about it today, so that you also understand and realize that you have options that you could definitely want to explore or even leverage on. And it's quite, I wouldn't say quite affordable. I think it's quite affordable. It'll most definitely be within the range of what you could possibly create, maybe a small size of a, solar power as well. But I think in terms of pricing, there's always an affordable range that you can start out with. That's the most important thing. I think, and even when you do your research, you also find out that as far as India, they've gone so far with this waste to wealth process that they even use the biogas as fuel for vehicles like hybrid cars, cars that use like CNG gas. They refine the gas so well that you could definitely use it for your vehicles as well, and that's something phenomenal. It might take us a while on the continent to get to that point, but I think it's also feasible when we start embracing from this standpoint till that time. So, guys, thank you so much for your patience with us today. The internet has not been so great, but I'm believing that we're having a great time on this interaction today with Mr. Onyebuchi. I'm just believing that we're having a great time. And possibly we will definitely maybe have another session as well where he will just still give more depths into the interactions today. Yeah, we'll definitely have another session where he would give us more depth into into the interactions. So yeah, we still have a couple of questions for him before we go today. But so far, if you're joining us, please, you have a question, do let us know, and we will definitely ask him your question. We'll definitely ask him your question. And trust me, he's able to provide the service regardless of the part of the country in Nigeria where you are. He's able to help you with that process by the installation of the biodigester, the setup, as well as even the maintenance. Because that's the other question we're definitely going to ask him about. Because most people might be very critical to say, oh, okay, it's one thing to install it. How do I sort of manage the system to ensure that I don't ruin it? I'm able to, get value for the money after installing it. What are some of the precautionary measures to take? And what some of the things to also definitely look out for? So those are some of the questions that we'll definitely ask him today before we end the session. But thank you so much for just joining and just being on the call with us today, despite the network glitches that we sort of experienced thus far. But I believe that the conversation has been an interesting one, a full-fledged learning experience, and just having this conversation, I'm just thrilled. Thinking about it and just saying, "Oh, okay, agriculture is definitely beyond farming." Seeing where he talks about using like the the biofertilizers or even the waste product that comes from the biodigesters to even sort of feed livestock. So you see, there's so much value within agriculture. There's so much value. And so the thing I definitely love about circular economy is the principle that it explores, which is, you know, produce, use, and reuse. Technically, right now, there's so much, linear way as to how things are done. But with circular economy, we ensure that there's no waste, end-to-end usage. Thank you for joining back. Can you hear us? Can you hear me? I want to believe that. Can you hear me, Mr. Onyebuchi? Okay.
Yeah, good evening. I don't know what happened.
I think it's the internet, and I've just been apologizing to our audience. I think it's the internet. You've shared a lot around, the process, the construction, the usage, and even the return on investment. You shared a lot around those subjects, which is pretty much impressive. Um, the internet. Guys, bear with us. I'm in Nigeria, and sometimes these things happen, particularly when it's like windy or it's about to rain. So sometimes this thing happens. So please just bear with us. I believe that he would reconnect again with us. But in the meantime, I was just helping you guys on sort of understand um, the usage of circular economy. Okay, I think he's back. I can hear your audio, but I can't see you. But can you hear me? Okay. Can you hear me?
Sorry. I didn't get you.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Can you hear me?
yes, I'm with you.
Okay, fantastic. I was saying that you shared a lot around the
Yes, I can hear you
construction,
clearly.
the usage.
I can hear you clearly. I can hear
Yeah,
you.
fantastic. So you've talked a lot around construction, the usage, return on investment. I want you to share a bit
So
of light around maintenance of the biodigester
I
system
can
in
hear you
itself.
very well, clearly.
Oh, okay. So I want you to talk a bit more about maintenance of the system. So guys, he has dropped off again. Thank you so much for your patience. I believe that he will be able to reconnect and join us again. But it's just an interesting conversation. It's an interesting conversation. One of the reasons why I am so keen about, circular economy, particularly from the standpoint of energy and even, fertilizers, is because I know that, you know, the waste that can be used for the production of this energy through circular economy is readily available. Like, hear him talk about people converting plastic to even petrol. Like, there's a way to definitely do that, right? So imagine if we're able to tap into this at scale, we would be able to provide power. I feel like the power deficiency it is not totally gonna, solve our power problem, but I think it's also an alternative, to ensuring that you enjoy more power. Just the same way, having installation of solar panels and solar batteries at this time is a good substitute, to ensure that, the energy challenge is curbed. I want to believe that with this, you also definitely have the opportunity to be able to see another alternative source of energy that you could use to power your house, power your offices, and even power your factories. Mr. Yebuchi, can you hear me?
Sorry, I don't know what happened that time.
Okay. So we have like two more questions to say and ask you before we wrap up today. And the question is around the management and the operations, right? You've given us, your thoughts around the construction, the return on investment. I believe that people want to know how easy it
Okay.
is to sort of maintain the biodigester and then ensure that they are able to have it for a long time. Is it difficult to manage? What's like the day-to-day operations or the quarterly or the weekly or the monthly routines? Because some people really want to know that before sort of investing in it.
Okay. First of all, you the biogas, if it's biogas, the bio have a evening routine. There's a morning,
Mm.
afternoon, evening routine, and a weekly routine. Because when that routine follows up,
Mm-hmm.
1 month, 1 week, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, 5 years, and the rest. So the thing is that now you are going to train to pass the business goals as a farmer, depending. But that routine has to be followed up in such a way that you come out to check if it's your biogas, you come out to check it. You see the level of the gas being produced. If it's your black soldier fly lava, you come out to check the lava there. You come to check when the lava will turn to full fly. When the fly, okay, now we lay egg, you follow up all these things. These are the things you need to be checking in weekly, week out, week in, week out, so that it keeps the business going properly if it's for poultry. And right now, we're in a system in Nigeria whereby the Chinese is looking for a way to take poultry into Nigeria and make us more of a consumer, and we not producing what we are consuming. So they can produce with any antibiotics they are doing properly well, and the chicken comes out and stays alive and looks they are alive, well fed with antibiotics products to feed us back. And those are the things that we need to take proper of how we can now make our waste in chicken poultry, where especially who are starting small, to put it properly well to move ahead proper. Because if we do not do this properly well, especially in the poultry, we might have a big issue in the long run. It means that our poultry system might not be controlled by us again, might be controlled by people outside nations who come to Nigeria, buys acres of land to produce massive numbers of poultry chickens. And when they come to Nigeria, they will not be controlled by us again.
Hey.
I don't know
All
why
right.
this why the network keeps giving this issue.
I think it's the network, but it's fine. Yeah, you were talking about the Chinese.
Yes, I was saying that the Chinese right now are already coming to invest in poultry, and the government wants to give to them our poultry system. And when they come out with the poultry, they will definitely come out in such a way that they will use a circular system in suiting us. Whereby our poultry farmers are still in the traditional method. Most of them pack their this thing. There's a way, maybe or even the commercial level who does up to maybe 10,000 beds, where they will build it like a roof, and the ground is where the fees are coming. All of them fees are coming. They come down and pack everything. They come down and pack everything. And
Mr. Dembisi, can you still hear me? Guys, the internet has has not been as favorable as we hoped today, but just one more question for him and we're pretty much done. But thank you so much for staying with me through and through, despite the network challenges that we've experienced today. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Um, yeah, if you do have a question, please drop in the comments. I would be able to ask him the question before we finally drop off for today. Before we finally drop off today. If you do have a question, please feel free to put the question in the comment section and I'll be able to ask Mr. Ndubisi your question. So please feel free to do so if you have a question. feel free to put out the questions on the comments, and I will read out the questions to him. Aside the network glitch that we've experienced today, but it has been a very enlightening experience for me, just having to also learn as well from a hands-on practitioner within the space as well. And I think of it as, like I was saying earlier on, before the he dropped off, which is at this point, because of how critical our energy challenge is, particularly for us Nigerians. I don't know about other African countries, but I think it's something that we also want to sort of consider to help with our energy challenges as well. And then the same way we are all embracing solar and embracing lithium batteries as a power source alternative, I believe that we should be able to tap into leverage on um this biogas, yeah, for power. This week, earlier in the week, I was a panelist at an event in my city, and I met I think his name is Dr. Longa, and we're talking, and he just shared with me that his one of his master's thesis is around sustainability, and then this whole biogas thing. And similarly, they might be working on the project to see how this biogas can be used in powering like estates, just built in to power estates. And I said, oh, that's really great. So there are more people coming into the knowledge of the usage.
Okay, I don't know. Okay, well, I think you were trying to reply to the audience. So what me I was trying to talk about the Chinese. I'm sure you're hearing me clearly, and I'm sure everyone's hearing me. And with the
Yeah.
Chinese, we're having an issue. The Chinese are really coming down to make massive investment in poultry in Nigeria
Mm,
because the truth, is, we've not gotten our poultry right. We depend our poultry on uh, biotics. Those what we depend
mm,
our poultry. So it's rare to see a poultry that is not based on biotics. And the one I've seen, I think they said the person contacted me on LinkedIn recently, and is I mean I was like, wow, I'm still even checking to be sure because SSD is rare. And the reason why is because we've not understand the level of how we can remove ourselves from the system being taught to us about how we can do our production and our reproduction too. What we've been
mm-hmm,
taught our reproduction has been very bad, wrongly. I won't say let's say I won't say bad, but it's a wrong method because it has led to such a way that we don't even know whether this thing will last well. Is most of the time you see people doing pig and they say swarm has taken off everything and they'll say swam and you ask yourself why and you know that definitely the certain things they neglect because they feel that okay as pigs animal they will still have immune system stronger than but they don't know that even we if certain disease comes up there's a way we will quickly try to put a level of our immune system some of us will do jogging some of us will do this thing so that we'll get better so why we don't we see that also as the animal that we are also trying to rear to make money or make so to make it in a way. But we say that no, anyhow we do it and we get it done. So Chinese have seen a way to that. Okay, this is a system that they can enter, and they've entered with OP and successfully done well in the financial level, bigger than any other of our own bank systems. If OP has beat every bank in Nigeria as it stands, except for First Bank, which we know is before them. So these are systems that has eaten and scattered a lot of Nigerian things that we have to now restructure back, work on, set up properly. Make people know that this is something that we need to enter into because to be honestly, I do not see this government coming to make energy, reducing energy for us for the better. It's either they are trying to make energy in more less, and we have to find a way to scout for our own energy. Because those who are into farming now, look, there was a girl, Nigerian farm girl, a Nigerian girl farm that's talking where she made a video with a farm, a diaspora was a farmer who said he left his farm due to insecurity all his farm in Nigeria, he left it, and it's live on our page. Meaning that this insecurity has hitting us to such a way that we don't even know what we are managing at this moment. We just actually said, okay, anyhow it is, we get. If insecurity was not there, many of my points given, there is a possibility chance that it will be implemented in certain place, right now, at certain place. People that are even doing it. But due to this insecurity, there are many biodigester technicians who cannot usually go and start maybe doing a large broadcast of awareness on biogas because it will look insane to them. Like, why are you going to, when you know that there's issue here? While our farm is already being taken off and everything. So we are going to face that's the thing we need to know. And that's why we as a collectively want the north, there's a certain products of food they produce which waste are still there. They still produce carrot, produce certain things which we still need in the east, need in the west, and need in every side or south. We need it, we need each other. And we need to fight this insecurity to make Nigeria a better nation for us to now know that okay, we are now dealing with other products of other energy. Because if we can't deal with insecurity, we can't deal with energy crisis. It will not be okay, they'll say certain Lagos as producing this amount of energy and these areas are not producing. Everybody will want to collide to themselves to that big area. If it's Abia State now, though, it will now be cluster of people in hefty areas due to energy and less people in certain areas, which will still keep the insecurity high for us. So those are the things that we are working on, praying to. Me, I don't believe in prayer and only thing to pray. I believe Nigeria has to come up with that strategy. I don't want to say anybody's name as who to vote or who not to vote to, but we need to come out to see that insecurity has to rise to a level whereby every other things can go well. Those are what I say to be. You are mute. You are mute. You are mute.
Thank you so much for sharing that concept with us and just helping us understand that, okay, as much as we are coming up with these innovative ideas and things, that we still need the support of the government in terms of even curbing insecurity and, encouraging more people to sort of embrace this. And this is one of the things I was just saying whilst, the internet was going in and out. I was saying that um but this biogas energy is also just like an alternative as well, because the power system that we have in the country is not as effective as it should be. But there's also a way to sort of leverage on this. But that would definitely be another conversation, having the government to acknowledge that this is also an alternative that can be explored to create power for us. So my very maybe my second to last question would be, so you, from where you're, based off of your practice and all the things just looking ahead, say another 5 to 10 years, um, how critical will waste to energy system be for agricultural competitiveness, across Africa? What do you see? What do you envision um, for this?
Because energy or the what I say is that if we're not able to maximize our energy or waste, we're not able to maximize it, we might have a lot of energy cost. Many people will have a lot of energy costs, meaning that they will be paying cash to get rid of their energy. Their manure that should have been an energy, they will pay cash to
Mm,
get rid of it. And some farmers will take time before they come and buy the manure for them. They will have to now say that okay, they have to do poultry. So who's doing poultry we have to do maybe another form of farming to augment the waste product, and he might not get it properly well. So in the next 5 years to come, we're going to have two types of system. We're going to have the circular system farmers, and we're going to have the traditional farmer system, which we're still going to have. You can't. The two, one must be here, one must be the other way. The two, one of them must exist in the two because some will be adamant to this system. Some will embrace it because they know that definitely they are seeing something ahead of it. So those who do not embrace it will remain on that system they know before trying to get it done. When they want to learn from people, they will have to meet some most of them because they want to pay a cheaper price. They will have to meet some quack who will create the system for them, and later it will stop working, and they will come out to talk about the system not being bad. Those are the ones that will promote the narrative of a negative system of this system that we're talking about, this biodigester and the biogas and the black soldier lava, because the two are biodegradable workers. The two are necessary because the biogas has its own worker there, and that black soldier fly lava is a worker that helps in reducing the waste to produce another form of energy in form of feed. So people we only want to see only biogas. People only want to see biogas and solar. People only want to see black soldier lava only. They don't want to see the biogas. So it comes in different forms in how they will see it in the way. But anyone who doesn't embrace any of it will have issue of high cost of feed. You will be looking for feed to pay. You'll be looking for where to get his
Yeah.
feed, especially for chicken feed. You look it instead of whereby he has gotten alternative to the sugar lava whereby it helps him and when you buy cooking feed, he makes it, he grinds it again and the feed increase in size and he feeds back to the chicken and knows that okay this ratio is what he's feeding with, checking it properly well with the ratio, knowing that okay this ratio is what works to improve it well. Then checking what meat ratio to be adding up to make it properly well. Then looking for feed that he will buy at large quantity, trying to do mixing ratio without protein that will be needed for the chicken because that lava is a protein for the chicken already, which he has not really seen to put inside already. So those are the things that we are going to make mistakes in the next few years to come in Nigeria. So we embrace it properly well, some will not. And I'm not the one to give who will see the vision and who will not see it. That's it.
Fantastic. So this is like my final question to you. It's like a double-edged question, which is um if you could give one advice right now, so like let's say the first person you're advising is our government, our policymakers. Then the other category of people you're advising is like operators um, about building a more profitable and sustainable system. What would that be? If you had one advice for our policymakers, our government, and also advice for operator, what would that be? For building sustainable systems, what would that
I'll,
be?
I'll focus on them building a I'll say bio. I'll first call it a bio cooperative hub. I'll call it
Mm,
a bio cooperative hub where farmers, estates comes together in a certain region or location and set up a system that okay, this is where their location is, whereby they know that they are well protected to actually okay, this is what they will do for themselves in that area. If it's chicken, poultry, if it's poultry, fish, and every other certain pig and the rest. They set up a hub whereby the system of the biogas and the bio this black soldier fly system is integrated there, whereby they turn it to situation where they create a training center for the students, secondary school students in that area, whereby they say, okay, certain amount of secondary school students who takes a test and exam, pass very well, we come for a training in this social place. Schools of this social place will come to do a competition in this, and just create it in such a way that the environment of that area has intertwined to the fact that they see that okay, where their gas is coming out, and if it goes well, they can form it to a place whereby they now compress the gas to sell around, depending if it goes well, but most times it hardly gets to that level because due to the fact that people working there is I want to collect to keep it working. I want to collect to keep it working. I want to collect to keep it working. I don't want to collect to let it grow. I want to collect just to keep it working. So system will not get to that level, but for it to keep going, it has to go with it has to go into line with the schools, universities of that region, primary, secondary, churches, intertwining on that system with a cooperative. Now, a cooperative will really lead to benefiting the individual of the area or a selected people. Those are things I don't know. Then they can come again with an estate owned personally or government owned enterprises personally on their own for the system of biogas
okay.
and bios because you can't just put one. You can't do only biogas without other if you know you want to do a proper system because you need to do production, which is the gas, and reproduction, which is the feed that will keep the production going. Because the feed
Mm.
is what we need, and if they see something to eat, energy without waiting dey belle, person go still find out, leave the energy go find belle for feed am. So the animal will find his belly. So those tools are the things that they need to intertwine together, not intertwine only the energy and leaving the other one in the issue of farmers to just solve on their own. So those are the systems that they need to incorporate together. Government to incorporate the two set together, because two of them are a way of reducing level of organic waste. They are a good way of reducing organic waste drastically. The two are needed in reducing organic waste drastically. Then if it comes to inorganic, those are another materials being used. So it's for them to manage the waste by creating a well-designed system.
I like how you talk about it from a very holistic standpoint, not just one area. To say, okay, if you're going to do this, you also need to consider this as well. So pretty much, well, thank you so much for highlighting it. I also like the hub thing you talked about, having a specific, cooperative hub where farmers and people come together for that purpose in particular. So that's really good insight.
Right.
And I hope our policymakers and our government officials are able to access this information and then, move with it and implement. Because sometimes in our context, it's not necessarily we don't have these policies, it's the implementation and even the monitoring of execution of these things that is a challenge. But we are hopeful that things will get better. But thank you so much, Mr. Onyebuchi, for this session today. It has been enlightening and insightful. So, for anyone that has listened to you today that would like to maybe book a consultation with you to basically understand which of the options would be good for them to explore, how can they reach you? Do you provide your services across the country or just specifically areas that you are in? So just share a couple of details as to how people can connect with you and then get access to your services.
Nigeria. As of now, first of all, let's say Nigeria. We've not gotten it outside Nigeria. So I can do a consulting for you as looking at your site. If you have a video of your site, I can work on it from there, give you a good opening with a little fee for you to know that yes, we are serious on it. Because I know definitely the free part I will do properly well for you to have an enlighten to open your eye to it. Then if you got to go further, there's a small charges for you to get properly well to it. Then this for if you are maybe it's for your home and you want to convert it to masterclass, we are also good for that one. And if it's for your black soldier fly system, sorry, we are also good for that one. If you want only this, we are going to go for it. And for location, Nigeria who are ready to work on it properly well. Not only me, because not only me, we see want to do a 30,000 liter, that's 30 meat. Thing is, I assurance this will work for the amount of every system well, it will hardly work. So you can reach out to me at his number for me to call 080343822. Give you a consulting anything you want that you to use your waste in your home, in your facility, your or your food waste, your fruit waste system, them come you in with using right to yourself. That's more just working and producing your products. Thank you.
Okay. Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing those details. And guys, the number he shared with you is also his WhatsApp number. So you could definitely text him out on WhatsApp as well. Just because you're not in a space where you can call directly, you could definitely text him on WhatsApp. So you could definitely text him. Just text him on WhatsApp. So yes. So guys, thank you so much for being with us today in the session. It's been an interesting conversation today, despite we had a bit of network glitches, but overall, it's been a good session. And do listen, get information on it. For the next episode, have a great weekend. And thank you, Mr. Anthony, for joining us today. Listen, get on it.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you.
Hear me. Your name, I didn't get the pronunciation well.
Oh, okay. My name is Osarugue.